Hey, Al.
Hey.
What are we going to look at today?
Tombs of the Blind Dead. Don't move, don't breathe, don't let them hear your heart beating. A legion of Knights Templar, executed horsemen whose eyes had been pecked out by crows, rise rotting from their graves, hunting only by sound, in the quest for human flesh.
You know what? I think this will be pretty good.
This'll do.
All right, let's get to it.
Legend has it, almost 3,000 years ago, a simian civilization of super-intelligent apes struggled with man to gain control of this planet. In the end, man conquered ape after a brutal battle, which saw him destroy the ape, his culture and society. After this battle, man tortured and killed all the ape prisoners by piercing their eyes with a red-hot poker. One of the prisoners, who was also the leader of the apes, vowed they would return from the dead to avenge man's brutality at a point in time before man destroyed Earth himself. That time is now.
What?
What's going on? You know, when you think you have things figured out, boy,
Jesus, man.
it didn't lie. It's right there on the back of the box.
Yep, it says Revenge from Planet Ape. That's what this movie, Tombs of the Blind Dead, was released as in the U.S. Under the most tenuous connection.
Tenuous connection. Just a voiceover, really. Like they didn't really show much or do anything with it.
No.
They just kind of insinuated apes were a part of this whole film.
At 1000 AD.
Yeah, 1000 AD. And wow, there's just no guilt from the Spanish in this movie. Like,
Well, I wouldn't put it on them. That was the
the
U.S.
distributor, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, the film we watched wasn't Revenge from Planet Ape. It was
No.
Tomb of the Blind
Actually,
Dead.
But I might prefer Revenge from Planet Ape.
I'd give it a chance. I also read stuff on a couple trivia tidbits that it was supposed to also have an ending sequence that took place in a post-apocalyptic setting where it showed that the ape undead took over society. And these are all very interesting things.
Like, certainly more interesting than what we got.
Yeah, when you actually get down to watching the movie, I would have preferred post-apocalyptic ape future or ape Knights Templar mummies walking around.
Or some of these guys maybe ape napping people.
Ape napping, yeah, and just add ape in front of everything and it makes it funnier.
Okay, basically what I was looking for was this movie is the first in a series of movies called the Blind Dead saga, I guess. The basic rundown of the plot is a modern-day tourist trip to the ruins of the Templar monastery unleashes a frenzy of lesbian desire, sexual violence, and the unholy onslaught of the eyeless undead. And that's all technically true.
It is, but, you know, when you list those things off like that, it makes it sound like, you know, snap, snap, snap. It's really going to come at you. And what we got was the most slow, meandering movie I'd seen in a while.
Yeah, I was going in for some pretty. I was looking for something like a hidden gem. You
Yeah.
know, it says extraordinarily creepy with an ingenious twist. One of the best horror movies you've never seen from Fangoria magazine.
Well, Fangoria, as much as everyone wants to tout them, yeah, they like some real crap. And I'll fight anyone that wants to defend Fangoria on that.
Even The Rock.
Even The Rock. I'll fight The Rock. But it's not a horrible movie, but man, is it? Because after you told me about this movie, we were gonna watch it last week, and I put it off, and I didn't want to spoil it, but I did kind of look at some articles as to like production and whatnot, and I was holding that ape thing aside for you. I wanted to see A, if it was going to be in the movie, and B, if you had read anything about it.
No, I kept myself clean for this one.
Absolute surprise. I was actually kind of expecting a lot more fun, and what we got was one of the laziest sad sack Spanish vacations I'd seen. So basically, it's a story of just friends, real shitty friends.
Yeah. Well,
abandoning each other.
Yeah, 3 of them meet up at a pool.
Yeah, they're just at a
like
pool,
swimming pool,
the public pool,
and they're all platonic friends.
Apparently, allegedly.
Allegedly, you know, two women and a man, and one of the women and the guy said to the other, "Come with us to we're gonna go spend the weekend at a resort."
Berzolo or Bertozzo, I even forget. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they throw some pretty creepy stuff in there because of those 2 women, one of them practically raped the other in college.
Yeah, like forced herself on her to satisfy her homosexual urge, and I guess that's what solidifies and cements friendship for over the years. Like these 2 they claim they're best friends. I don't know.
Well, only one of them claims.
Yeah, one claims.
A rapist.
That's one thing that's always very funny to me is there's some people that believe they're better friends than they actually are. But no, it's a crazy setup, and then they all get on the train. They're going to go off to this resort place,
and one of the women literally just jumps off the train, goes on the ruins over there. You know.
Yeah, across the fields, through the woods, and finds this old castle, this ruin.
And you think, okay, well, this has potential here because it's a really cool looking castle, you know.
Yeah, it's very fun to look at, and it's in the middle of nowhere. It looks legit. It's not a cheap set. It's something there. You probably could see it today. And so this cute girl, my girl Virginia, starts exploring and wandering around and
spends the night,
smokes cigarettes, listens to jazz, reads a book by firelight. And then the apes get her.
The apes
Not the apes. In this movie, it's like there was a cursed order of knights that when they came back from the crusade, they were changed people. They changed their beliefs. They were witchcraft supporters, devil worshippers, and they were...
they found the secret to immortality.
Yeah, and they were excommunicated and executed and like hung, and then... You know,
the crows picked out their eyes.
Picked out their eyes so they can't see.
And so they hunt you by sound.
Yeah.
And that's really supposed to be the crux of the movie. Because, you know, as soon as anyone's in any dangerous situation, they're like...
Oh my god, they're coming!
But it turns out you don't even need to breathe hard. They can hear your heartbeat.
Yeah, and that was the horrible thing is... like when their gimmick is they can hear you, right? You think at some point during the movie somebody's gonna figure out, like, oh, I was absolutely quiet there, and they walked right by me. They can't. They go by sound, and then no, there's this girl, and she's finally kind of hidden, and then she hears her heartbeat,
and then
everyone looks at her. And all right, we're screwed. This ability or this curse on them isn't a curse; it's a benefit. They can hear anything.
It's kind of funny because, like you said, like if they can hear her heartbeat, they can hear her eyes blink.
Yeah, and they can hear her swallow, or they could probably hear the hair raising on her arms.
It's like Daredevil.
Yeah, these guys are and they have horses too. They never really explained that. I guess in death they have horses.
I'm just kind of bamboozled by the whole thing right now. It's like it was like a work of insanity almost.
Insanity. It had promise at the start, but then it kept dropping. Dropping layers of it off as it went.
You see these curse knights within the first 20-25 minutes, and then you don't see them for another hour.
Yeah, at least a good 40 minutes, and the people looking for their now dead friend are
they hired a smuggler and his pirate wench.
Yeah, the smuggler and the pirate wench, and they went off back to the castle trying to find the friend, or find the secret to the mystery. I don't know. They knew their friend was dead already.
Yeah, they knew.
So,
I guess they just wanted to see if it was real.
I guess, and then Then even worse things happen, because what happens when you invite a pirate smuggler out to an abandoned ruin in the middle of nowhere, and you're a vulnerable woman? smuggler stuff. He smuggles the hell out of her.
He smuggles the hell out of her.
Just rips her shirt open, has his way with her, and then offers her a cigarette afterwards. This movie had brutality, but none of it committed by the villains.
I mean,
like
sure,
the monsters.
The knights will bite you, and
They
will kill you.
They got a couple people,
but it's nothing personal.
Nothing personal. These guys took it, above and beyond. At that point, I was more worried about what that pirate guy was going to do than the knights. But yeah, the whole adventure just, once they figured out their friend was dead, that should have been it. Like, well, never let your friend run off a train. Let that be a lesson to us. And, continue on. You guys were alive, and they were sipping mimosas on the patio of this luxurious resort, and now they're decided to go headlong into this mysterious thing that everyone's afraid of.
Everyone told them that this is what would happen.
No, nobody goes there. Nobody goes there. Why?
We don't even speak about it.
Yeah, we'll never talk about this. Nobody does, because people that do, they end up dead.
And it's true.
It's absolutely true. So not only that, it was frustrating how long it took to get to that end moment. All in all, though, I think some apes could have spiced it up.
Okay, well, let me get a close up on the box here. See, I don't know how well this is gonna look, but I kind of expected the zombies to look something like that, and you can't really tell.
I couldn't make out
in this movie, like, these guys are wearing, like, shrouds and stuff like that, and you think, oh, okay, it looks like it might be a good piece of costuming, but there's, like, no lighting anywhere.
No, a lot of natural lighting and very weak lighting.
So all you see is, like,
you see the cloak.
You see the cloak.
But then inside it's like a bundle of twigs, it looks like.
You don't see the face. You pretty much just see their hands. They're going to come at you like that.
Yeah, and I like their back scratcher hands in there, too. Like, you go to the dollar store and you can buy one of those purple back scratches, and it's like that. That was the hand opening the doors and everything. It's just, nah. And these guys are groping up the girls, and you just imagine these little stupid hands. Just, it made me laugh. So, yeah, I wouldn't say it was unenjoyable. I think you and I both had a fun time of it, but it wasn't a good movie.
I built it up too much in my mind. This thing is hailed as, like, the Night of the Living Dead from Spain.
I could see that, because I'm not exactly a huge fan of Night of the Living Dead. I would put this on the same level. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of zombie fiction or zombie films or anything. Mainly because it moves too slow.
Oh boy, does it ever in this case.
Especially old style zombie movies, when it's about the creeping horror and the realization that the rest of the world is screwed. Oh, that was a good way to end the movie too. In the version we saw, these knights got on a train, and that train wheeled on into town.
Yeah,
and the ending scene. I don't care if I spoil it. It was hilarious.
Spoilers from a movie from 1971.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it now, you're not going to see it. But the movie ends as this police inspector comes up and says, "What's going on?" And the main character, the survivor, she looks at the train and realizes the knights are there. So she screams, and it echoes back to a scene that made no sense
at the start of the movie.
Yeah, and then freeze frame. It's a photograph, and it just pans out, and all you hear is the screams of people dying on the train.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Confusing movie.
They should call that movie Death Comes by Train.
Well, I think if I was to run with this, it would be a lot more entertaining of a movie if the movie started off as the police inspector. And then this train rolls up with all these zombie guys on it, and they just walk off and start, taking names.
Zombies. Yeah.
Like, I'm confused. Templar zombies on a train coming from the countryside. What the hell? And then the movie starts there, because that, you have questions to answer. See, we're just spitballing ideas. We're seeing what sticks, and we're coming up with more inventive ideas. So, I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. It's a case of us building it up a little bit too much.
All right, yeah. I suppose we should have known better.
Yeah, whenever we yearn for love and to fall in love with something, we always end up with the broken hearts.
Good night.